Peter Jason Quill. He's wanted largely on charges of minor assault, public intoxication, and fraud.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know how this machine worked.
Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, on the contrary to what most of you might have thought, this was not my most anticipated movie of the year, or even one of my most anticipated movies of the year. I just thought it was going to be interesting to see a talking raccoon on screen. Holy shit, was I wrong. So much, in fact, that I would call this one of my favorite movies of this particular type for more than the last decade. It's almost an homage to all the old school sci-fi movies that have been done 1,000 times, but in this particular movie, we just haven't seen it done in this way before. The essential story, without giving anything away, is that these band of misfits have come together to take hold of this particular artifact that a ton of these baddies that around the universe are trying to get, so that they can essentially destroy the universe. And like I said, this has been done 1,000 times before, but this is just different. It's like they just wrote down a bunch of ideas from stuff that has happened before and has put a twist on it. It's actually really hard to explain without sort of giving away stuff.
What is it?
It's called Nowhere, the severed head of an ancient celestial being. Be wary, headed in, rodent. There are no regulations whatsoever here.
It's really hard to actually deny this movie's greatness for superhero movies of today. And even movies that like give a nod to old school sci-fi movies of like Star Trek and Star Wars, and even like little things like the lead character Star-Lord, played by Chris Pratt. He's like a mesh between Luke Skywalker, Indiana Jones, and Han Solo all in one. It just works perfectly. Don't know how they did it, but they did it yet again. This movie is just a giant bag of awesome with extremely lovable characters, hysterical humor and dialogue, nods of classic moments from the 60s, 70s, and 80s, including movies, characters, famous people, songs, even quotes and characters that you've loved since like ever. It's got beautifully realized special effects and scenery that are near perfect, with seriously brutal and intense, exciting action sequences with like heartfelt moments that are perfectly timed, the humor is perfectly timed, and the story is just great. Like even in a serious and dramatic situation, there will be humor that they'll just sort of slide in there that is just like perfectly placed.
That dude there, I need his prosthetic leg.
His leg?
Yeah. God knows I don't need the rest of him. Look at him, he's useless.
Bradley Cooper, 2 thumbs up for you, dude. Voice acting, killed it. Absolutely killed it. And same goes for Groot. I just did not see that character being anything other than just a giant walking tree. And even though there are these moments that just sort of, that could have been done better, wasn't enough for me to be like, okay, that's like pulled the movie down. Like, the assassin, you want to know more about her because her backstory, the little bit that you know about her throughout the movie, it's insane. It's really cool and it's very intense. You want to know more about her, but you just don't get to know more about her. So that's kind of disappointing, but you can live with it.
Oh, we're getting out. And then we're headed straight to Yondu to retrieve your bounty.
How much was your buyer willing to pay you for my orb?
4 billion units.
What? Holy shit.
Now, I know a lot of people gave this guy a hell of a lot of shit, but I don't know why. He was really funny. He delivered his lines well enough for me, and he made me laugh. I've never seen him in anything else before. He made me laugh, what can I say? The action sequences, holy shit, the action sequences were insane in this movie. It felt like I was watching an updated version of like Star Wars or something like that, where it was just freaking epicness everywhere, and just, it was like the intro for, I know it's a really bad example for some people out there, but the introduction to Star Wars Episode 3, when they're going through space and there's that massive battle going on. Some of the scenes reminded me of that particular opening sequence. You know what, that's really cool. It's been done well, it's been held with care. And Marvel, you have delivered more than I thought you ever would. And so I'm gonna give this movie a 9 out of 10. If you guys have not seen it, I highly recommend you to go and check it out. If you have seen it, what did you think of the movie? What do you think is gonna happen with the end sequence as well? After the credits, the post-credit scene. Post-credit scene. That works. Do you think they're serious? Do you think they could actually do something with that? I hope so, because just that one line that was delivered at the very end, it was just like, that was funny, I liked that. But are they going to do something with it? That would be hilarious. I'd love to see some dialogue between certain characters. No spoilers at all. It's so hard to talk about that! I hope you guys are all having a mad day. Until next time, peace. Blah, 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 blah.